Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. This is a very, very, very exciting occasion and a very positive time during the holidays where there's good cheer, good season ahead of us, and a good announcement that we'd like to make. I also wanted to recognize a state representative that is here with us tonight, Representative Newton, for joining us tonight. There he is. Now, I have to tell you, Representative Newton has the pleasure of being a representative on all 3 USF campuses. So your territory is wide and deep, but we're so glad you're here. This is a very important occasion. Thank you. Thank you. Well, this is a special moment, but not only for the USF Sarasota-Manatee community, but also for the entire University of South Florida system. As you know, Karen Holbrook has strong ties to this region. She believes that meaningful partnerships benefit the community and the university, and she has strong ties to our university. And so does her husband, James Holbrook, who's here with us. Stand up, wave. You're very important. You're very important. We're glad you're here. But, you know, I appreciate so much Karen Holbrook's leadership skills, her energy, her vision, and that her priority is what we all share, and that is student success. And she has such an impressive record of accomplishment in higher education. Prior to coming to University of South Florida, Sarasota-Manatee, she served as the interim president at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and that was for about a year. But before that, she had numerous roles at the University of South Florida on the Tampa campus, including Senior Vice President for Research and Innovation and Senior Vice President for Global Affairs and International Research. But before coming to USF, I blew it. Before coming to USF, she was the president at The Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. And prior to joining Ohio State University, she held key administrative posts at the University of Georgia, including provost and vice president at University of Georgia. But before that, she was at the University of Florida as vice president for research, and you know, she did her background work, a bachelor's and master's in zoology at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and go Badgers, right? Go Badgers. I do that with Go Bulls. And she received a PhD in biological structure at the University of Washington School of Medicine, where she also served as a postdoctoral fellow in dermatology and as a faculty member. So, as you can see, her credentials are fabulous. Karen enjoyed also a productive research center in the biomedical sciences and was a Merit Award recipient from the National Institutes of Health. And she also serves and has served on many editorial boards, as well as professional journals and numerous other professional and academic boards. So she comes to us with great skills, great experience, lots of energy and vision, and we're just so fortunate to have her with us. and to announce that she is now the Regional Chancellor of the University of South Florida, Sarasota-Manatee. So let's give her a round of applause. Thank you. I'm looking for you out there. I also wanted to extend a thank you to Dr. Terry Osborne for his dedicated service as interim regional chancellor over the last 9 months. And I also wanted to thank Dr. Donna Peterson, who served as the chair of the search committee. All those that were on the search committee wave, thank you so much for being on the search as well. And also, I wanted to thank USF SM campus board members, because they also serve a great consulting, advisory, and clear governing board for USF Sarasota-Manatee. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce the chair of USF Sarasota-Manatee Campus Board and a Board of Trustee member, Byron Shin. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam President. So I wanted to start out by talking about, and only for just a couple of minutes because I want to get less than that. How many of you remember when University of South Florida was across the road with New College and double wide trailers? Okay, so we've come a long way, baby. So we've got this building and we're cruising, but we have a lot still left to do. And the community and the board feel it. We have several of our past board members here. I see Rick Smith out there, but our current board, David Eckel can't be here tonight, but we have Dr. Anila Jain, Bill Mariotti, and Rick Piccolo. Thank you. So you can feel the community and the students and the surge that's about to happen here in this community with this really cool system. And Tampa, the system and the research platform that it has, and then to bring a lady of this talent to lead us as a visionary and what it can do. So you just look down the street just a little way to another visionary named Larry Thompson, who happened to be at Ohio State at the same time our own Judy Genshaft was there. So talking about alignment all of a sudden. So we had a Board of Trustee meeting this past week. And in that meeting, you could feel the anxiety of the trustees and the release of energy. And Hal Mullis, one of our past chairs, you could see him emotionally and physically how much he relaxed when he heard of the announcement with Dr. Holbrook. So I think it's a profound moment that we have somebody of this caliber here to lead us and to continue in the likes of what previous chancellors have done here. And I'm very, very excited. We have somebody that knows the system, knows Florida, knows what it's going to take to get us to the next level. So we just need to get out of her way and let her do her part. So, Dr. Holbrook.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you to all of you for coming. I am just absolutely amazed. It's wonderful, and I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to be standing in front of you. And Dr. Genshaft, thank you so much for this opportunity. Dr. Genshaft gave me an opportunity when I left Ohio State. She said, would you come and help with research? And I said, yep, I'll come for 6 months. Well, that was 6 years later I left. So you can see how committed I am to USF, and it only gets better every single year, and I only get happier being part of it. And this place is wonderful. So thank you also to our regional board. We are so lucky to have a regional board like our board, led by Byron Shin, Trustee Shin, as well as Dr. Jain, Bill Mariotti, Rick Piccolo, and I don't see, yeah, I do see you now, and David Eckel. So wonderful, wonderful board. We're so lucky to have that board, and I'm also thrilled to see our system colleagues. Thank you, Dr. Wilcox, for being here. And I especially say thank you to our USF-SM family. And this is a family. People have told me that over and over, and it's pretty clear that that is the case. And finally, I have to say, I always forget my husband. So I have to say thank you to my husband. It's not because I forget him, but after 44 years, you start taking him for granted, and I guess maybe that's what happens. But when I went home and said to Jim that I had been asked would I be interested in getting in the search after it was starting to wind down, and I thought, oh, I can't go home and say this, because he's going to say, I thought we were going to go to here. I thought we were going to go buy a house somewhere else. And I went home and thought that was what I was going to get for an answer, and he just looked at me and he said, it's what you love to do, do it. So thank you, Jim. And then he added, I can play more golf, and that's always true, because he can. So I too wanted to add to what Dr. Genshav said. I wanted to give a special thanks to Dr. Osborne for his long association with this university, first as the dean, and I first met him I guess 7 or so years ago. I don't know if Terry's here or not tonight, but I do want to thank him. He came as the dean of the College of Education at that time, and then took on the role of vice chancellor for academic and student affairs, and then has twice been the interim vice chancellor, and really has done a wonderful job for this campus. So many of you know that Dr. Osborne is elected to take a 6-month professional leave or a sabbatical, which I think is wonderful. Will give him some chance, a time to think and do some things that he's always wanted to do, and I know he will come back with many creative ideas of what can happen here to build something else at the University of South Florida, Sarasota-Manatee. So I know we thank him for his hard work and for moving us ahead. This was not a holding pattern during the time he was the interim chancellor, but it was a moving forward, and thanks to Terry for all that he's done. Yeah. And I am really excited about our future, about connecting with our community in all aspects, working closely with our university colleagues in the CCA, with local organizations that promote economic development, civic engagement, and with the schools that are so critical to us in producing the young people who are our students, and in helping us gain our students who are our productive citizens and members of the workforce of our community. But let me tell you something else about what makes me really, really excited about being here, and know that we have an extraordinary future. Every year, Dr. Bonnie Jones, and I know Bonnie is around here, and you know Bonnie Jones, there she is, over there. Every year, Dr. Bonnie Jones administers a survey to our graduating seniors. You all know what response rates are like when people submit surveys. Usually if you get 60%, you feel really, really happy. This year's survey turned out 96%, or 444 students of our 463 students. That's absolutely amazing. But what's even more amazing is what they said. The data tell a story about USF-SM. 90% of the students responded that they were positive about their experience, satisfied with their major, and with the knowledge that they gained in their field. 88% felt like they were intellectually challenged. 87% would recommend USF-SM to somebody else to come to the university. 85% were positive about their interaction with the faculty, and 90% of them said this was a safe environment. Those are amazing statistics. 91% of our students will stay in Florida. Of those, 28% are going to be going on to graduate and professional school. Another good statistic, 34% are going to be working in the public sector, and 30% are going to be working in the private sector. These are really spectacular data, but I'm telling you, of course, the best responses. I can also tell you that virtually all of the other categories where they were not in the 90% or even in the high 80s were all in the 60s and 70%, which is extremely good. And if you consider this information in the context that there are 44% of our students who work 30 hours a week. That's pretty remarkable that they are so positive about their education. 36% work from 10 to 30 hours a week. And there are only 15% of our students who don't have a paid job outside of school. That's pretty remarkable. And then to hear that they're happy with the kind of environment and the kind of education that they're getting here. Now, I mention all of these data because they not only describe a very satisfied group of students, but they also tell us a lot about our faculty and our staff who are absolutely dedicated and committed to these students so that they will be successful. This says a lot about this university, and it tells you why I think this is an extremely positive place to be. This is why I think this is a very special place, because people care. And on Bonnie's survey, when they asked, "Who do you think USF cares about you?" the answer is 81% replied in the affirmative. And that beats 70% that said that last year. So we are doing a lot right when our students are the positives that we want to see. So can we do more? Of course. Of course we can. And it's our challenge, continue to build the opportunities and entice new students to join us, to provide more real-life experiences for current students to connect with the community, to set the stage for their careers, to create additional that's true also, academic opportunities and new experiences for new students, and also experiences for our students that exist today. We have our work set out for us. We want to continue all of the accomplishments, the innovation, and the success within our university and the system. I look forward to working with all of the members of our local board, with our system board, with our president, and with all of the other USF leaders, faculty, staff, and students to assure that USF-SM is not behind the trees. Now, my friend Bill Hampton is here, who told us one day when we were talking about the university, he said, "It's the place behind the trees." And so we picked that up as kind of a moniker to talk about what goes on behind the trees. We want everybody to know what goes on behind the trees, because what goes on behind the trees is nothing short of spectacular. It is now, and it's going to continue to be. And I am so incredibly excited to work with every one of you in this room, with our board members, with our faculty, staff, and students, to make sure that nobody said, "What goes on behind the trees?" Because everybody's going to know what happens behind the trees. So thanks again to all of you for coming, and let me wish you a very happy, successful, and wonderful new year. It's going to be very exciting when we all come back in 2018. So thank you very much.
Well, let me end by saying there's a tradition that we have at USF. That is, you can't leave without all the food and drink gone. So happy holidays, everybody. Enjoy. This is a time to meet and greet. Oh, graduation is my favorite activity. It's what we're all about. And we graduated 4,700 students this fall semester, so it was very exciting. And of course, the USF Sarasota-Manatee graduation was spectacular as usual. It sure does. You know, with a research university, you're looking at new discoveries and best practices. And it really is the innovation and the ingenious part of it all, the inventive part of it all, that really makes us different than other universities. It's not better, it's different. Well, USF Sarasota-Manatee is very, very important to the University of South Florida system. And our new regional chancellor is Karen Holbrook, who is awesome, and she is the real deal. We're so excited to have her leadership on this campus, and I know that she's very engaged with the community. She cares deeply about making sure that USF Sarasota-Manatee is making a difference in the way of student success, research, international, whatever the needs are for the community, she's going to be there for you. Well, we're looking forward to being able to develop our rowing program, our women's rowing program, which will be an NCAA Division I sport. And that is going to be phenomenal in the Benderson Park area, so it's really exciting. The other is that we're looking forward to building a STEM program much more intense, and a building along with that. So we have plenty of plans. That we're not short of plans at all, but her leadership will help make everything come to fruition. It's all, our importance is all about student success and making sure that each and every one of our students has a career focus that will match the community's needs. So whether it's nursing, STEM programs, or education, arts and sciences, we want to be here for our great Sarasota-Manatee community.
One of the biggest challenges we have is making sure everybody knows we're here and what it is that we do and how good we are and what an asset we can be to the community. I think, as I said, we are behind the trees, but we really want to be out in front of the trees so everybody knows who we are, what we can do, and how we can connect. So that's going to be one of the biggest challenges. I don't know that it's a challenge. Let's say it's the biggest goal, is to make sure that we can connect with as many people as we can, that we can be helpful, because that's what we do. There are a lot more partnerships. I think a lot of the things we're doing in cybersecurity right now connect us with the community, with some of the wonderful companies that are here. I think we need to just look and see where could we be of value. And I think we're going to be doing that very well. But I'm excited about our relationship with Stetson so that our students can go on to law school rather seamlessly as long as they keep up their record, with LECOM, with the College of Nursing in Tampa, with engineering in Tampa. And I think more and more as we can connect, I'd love to see what we can do with a cross-college alliance, because here are 5 schools, very different from one another, but our differences are our strengths. So we can't do what Ringling can do, but they don't necessarily do what we can do. But why not partner and make sure that together we can do a lot more things? Those are always the things people say, but I really believe them. Oh, that's critically important, because those are the real life experiences that make a difference to our students. We have over 300 internships right now. We want to keep getting more and more internships so that students can go out and feel what it is to do the work in the community and use their education productively. So any of those kinds of experiences where we can be valuable, we want to do that. Very important. That's our goal. That's our goal. And when I did my interview, I talked about, my title of my talk was Behind the Trees, because I hadn't heard that, but I heard from, the person I mentioned was Bill Hampton, who's been helping us. He was the marketing and communications person at Embry-Riddle, and he said, "Oh, you guys are behind the trees." And that really resonated with me, that we want everybody to go by and say, "Oh, we know what's behind the trees." So that's our goal.